Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Going to be talking about every movie and show I watched last week, and yeah, to be honest, I had a really busy week. Didn't get to watch nearly as much as I would have liked. Truthfully, the past like 3 weeks, I've basically been going through a season and a half, or almost 2 seasons of The Walking Dead. This week, I only watched, I think, like 5 episodes of The Walking Dead. I just didn't have time to watch much. I still watched 11 movies this week, which has been my average like every week of the year. But yeah, I just didn't have time to watch The Walking Dead this week, unfortunately. But nonetheless, let's talk about season 5 of The Walking Dead, the one and only season of TV I watched this week, which is perhaps the most depressing of the seasons I've watched so far. Whether it's Beth's death, whether it's any time I see Daryl cry, one of the most emotional scenes in the entire show is the entire crew in the barn pushing the doors closed in that massive storm, and I love it. It's a fantastically gorgeous scene. And Glenn, Glenn, man, I just watched Glenn's death in season 6. That's the last episode I watched, and I literally have mentally not been able to go back, man. All of my fucking favorite characters keep fucking dying in this fucking show, and I'm mad about it. And also Noah's death was really emotional as well, but definitely the most emotional was Beth's. I was really surprised. I just wasn't expecting that, truthfully. So that was really quite surprising. Also, hi Betty, hi baby. All right, so let's get into the movies of the week, starting it off with my least favorite watch of the week, which was The Prince of Egypt, which I ranked a 65 out of 100. Um, it's just a movie that's been in my watch list for a long time, but this year one of my goals is to go through DreamWorks films, and this is one I don't have ranked. And this movie kind of confused me because there's moments of really good stuff, then there's moments of just kind of okay stuff. There's some gorgeous pieces of animation. As you can tell, that backdrop I chose is fantastic. But then there's a lot of just like meh animation, so I don't know. This movie just kind of confuses me because it goes back and forth with a lot of things, whether it's good or bad. And yeah, great cast, stacked cast though. So let's move on to a hilarious movie. For some reason, Mel and I watched a Minecraft movie again. This is something we genuinely think about probably too much. I don't know why we think about it as often as we do, and we've talked about wanting to rewatch this for some reason, and we finally have this. I love Betty. Anyways, I did lower it a couple of points. I still, to be honest, enjoy this film as long as we're in the Minecraft world. Everything that's happening outside the Minecraft world, I really, really don't like. But in the actual Minecraft world, I think it's fun, and I'm excited. Jason Momoa recently announced that he read the script for Minecraft 2, and after he read the script of the first one, he said he was perplexed, but this one he said he was rolling on the floor laughing. So I'm excited. I'm hoping the second one will be better. We'll see what happens. But ultimately, this was quite an experience to watch without a children scream or without children screaming chicken jockey. It was so quiet and it was so weird. But what are you doing, babes? Anyways, Kitty, you wanna what do you think of Minecraft? Thank you. All right. Let's keep it going to Caught Stealing, which I ranked a 74 out of 100. This was a movie I tried going to see in theaters. I kind of had plans to go see in theaters with some friends, but never ended up working out, and I just never got to see it. I seen it recently on Crave, I believe, and watched it, and actually I enjoyed it. And considering I don't really care for most of Darren Aronofsky's movies, I enjoyed this a fair amount. This is, I believe, my second favorite because, again, I really just I'm not a huge fan of Aronofsky's films. I don't like Mother like at all. I don't like Black Swan. I don't like Requiem for a Dream. I like The Whale, and I like Caught Stealing. So yeah, I thought this was a good movie. Ranked at 74 out of 100. Let's move on to Left Handed Girl. This was a pretty popular movie like a month or two ago when it came out on Netflix. I feel like this was quite a popular piece of Netflix in late 2025. And I've been wanting to watch more foreign films. I didn't really get around to many foreign films this month like I wanted, so I kind of needed to get another one under my belt. I had quite a few foreign films this week, but Left-Handed Girl, I think it's pretty solid, ranked at a 76 out of 100. The climax at the end was really awesome, and I feel like that was something that was kind of well, the climax and the twist, I should say. It was something that was kind of hinted at earlier in the movie, and although it wasn't revealed, I definitely expected that. And once I was told that twist, I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But overall, a really good movie. Anyways, 76 out of 100. Let's move on to Inuo, which is a pretty awesome movie. I think with a rewatch, I could really love this movie. It's got some really great pieces of animation, and the music in this film, the first like half of this film is just an interesting film, just an interesting movie about like Japanese musical culture in Japan, I'll say. And then like the last half of this movie, the last hour of this movie is like fully a musical, and the music is pretty awesome as well. So yeah, this is a pretty good movie as well. I'd recommend it on Netflix as well. Ranked at a 77 out of 100. Let's move on to a short film and actually how I ended the month of January with Two Distant Strangers, which I ranked an 80 out of 100. I thought this was really good. I thought it was great actually. Although a lot of the reviews that I read on Letterboxd were not very positive reviews, which was surprising because I felt like um, this is an Oscar winning short film, I believe. So I just kind of expected more positive feedback from it, but overall, I enjoyed it. Ranked it an 80 out of 100. Let's move on to Elio. So finally, Mel and I watched Elio after months and months of asking her to watch it because we went to go see it July 1st of 2025, which we ended up leaving the theater early that evening because Mel was, to be fair, we were both, I think, a little burnt out from the day in the sun that we had that day. It was Canada Day. We were out all day. We had a really busy day. Mela drank a little bit throughout the afternoon as well. So by the time we went to the movies, I think Mel was just gassed and she was literally falling asleep next to me. So I always told her I would never ever leave a theater for her. Obviously, I left, but finally glad to have said we watched it. We started it from scratch, which is really fun and it looks beautiful with my Philips Hughes or with my Philips Hue lights. Anyways, as many Pixar movies does, this is a gorgeous film and it made Mel cry, like I said, as many Pixar films do. So I'm now down to only four, I believe, four Pixar films that I don't have ranked, which is Wally, Up, The Good Dinosaur, and Brave. Wally and Up I've seen, I just never ranked them. Like I haven't seen them in years since before I started using Letterboxd. And then I don't know if I've ever seen Brave, and I know I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur, so I'm gonna try to do that over the probably maybe this month actually. We'll see. But overall, Elio, great, ranked at an 80 out of 100. Let's move on to a. I got Betty hair in my mouth. I can feel it. Let's move on to a 2026 release, which is Send Help, which I think this is only my second Sam Raimi film in theaters. I think the only other one I've seen is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is it's just probably my second favorite Sam Raimi movie. So overall, though, Send Help, I ranked it an 83 out of 100. It's a lot of fun. This is one of the funniest movies I've seen in theaters in a really long time. This is probably one of the most I've laughed in a theater as well, and a lot of the people around us were laughing too. There was a girl to our left that had an insanely funny laugh. It was awful, but it was hilarious, and every time she laughed, we just kind of chuckled. And then off to the right, there was these kind of annoying kids that were also laughing. But overall, this is a really fun movie, and I definitely expected this to be a horror movie, but it's just not. It's really just kind of like a action comedy, maybe a thriller comedy if you want to say. But overall, definitely recommend because this is a really fun and campy movie, the perfect Sam Raimi movie. Ranked at an 83 out of 100. Let's move on to how I started the week, which was with The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring for the 25th anniversary. I am turning 25 this year. One of my goals for this year is to watch 25 2001 movies because that was the year I was born. And I think this is actually the first one I watched, surprisingly enough. But yeah, I got to see You Shall Not Pass in theaters, which was fucking awesome. I wish this was playing in IMAX. I just wish I could see everything in IMAX right now. Really come to learn that if it's in IMAX, I want to see it in IMAX because it's just going to be better than any other experience in the theater. And, anyways, I got to see this in theaters for the first time. I really enjoyed it. It was the extended version, and although I definitely prefer the theatrical regular like 2.5 hour version. Um, well, I guess almost 3 hours. Anyways, I do prefer the original version over the extended edition. But I didn't change my rating for that, so I still ranked it a 93 out of 100. It's still my favorite of the trilogy. I was gonna go see the Two Towers and Return of the King as well, but honestly, I just didn't want to sit in the theater for 4 hours, 3 nights in a row. So decided not to. But maybe over the next couple of years, they're going to be re-released again for their 25th anniversaries, and then I'll go see it. We'll see. But overall, 93 out of 100 for Fellowship of the Ring. Let's move on to Past Lives, which I ranked a 94 out of 100. This is a movie that I actively think about, which is probably not a good thing, as this is a depressing ass movie, but it's a fantastic movie. It's so well made. I love every shot of this film. It feels so real and like I'm there. I genuinely feel like I'm in this movie and I'm a part of this movie. The music stood out a lot more this time than when I first watched it in theaters a couple years ago. I really loved the music in this. And I mean, we have some tremendous acting as well. Greta Lee is amazing, and Celine Song as a directorial debut is fantastic as well. And ultimately, this is still one of my favorite foreign films. I actually raised it from a 92 up to a 94 out of 100. I think this is a fantastic movie. One of my favorite movies directed by women as well. So that's iconic. But 94 out of 100. And let's move on to my favorite watch of the week. February 1st, it's a new month. Spider Man Across the Spider Verse, the best movie ever made, 100 out of 100. I cannot talk about this movie enough. I love everything about this movie. This is the 17th time I've ranked it on Letterboxd, and I kind of have a goal to hit 20 now this year just for fun because I plan on watching this at least once later on this year. During right around the time that Brand New Day comes out, so I'm looking forward to that. I plan on having a Spider-Man week. I'm looking forward to that. But overall, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. Shout out Betty for being here with half the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.